Thank you and welcome to our March Resident Association meeting. And I would like to start with a moment of silence. Thank you. I've got a few opening comments before we get into the real substance of the meeting. Although one of the key substances, we'd like to welcome our Triad guests, Dan and Paula Orsini from New York. A number of us met them last night at Conversation, and we thank them for bringing the cold New York weather here. And we want to promise them that as they return to New York, they can take our warming Lexington weather with them, as well as the warmth in our hearts. With that, I just have a few comments about the strategic planning process, which our board is pursuing, and the fact that they have encouraged and welcomed the engagement of residents, not only to contribute to the plan, but also obviously to benefit from the plan. The board has defined 4 different pillars that will be parts of the strategic plan that will be pursued by separate forums of board members, outside visitors, staff, as well as residents. And those pillars are, number 1, looking at options for changes in our dementia and memory care services. Number 2, looking at the potential for adding additional residences on campus. Potentially looking at also serving additional markets as the world changes outside, and also looking at potential resident contract changes. That's pillar 2. Pillar 3 is to look at potential positive changes in our staff and resident community culture. Number 3, all 3 of those we're inviting residents to participate in, and I'll give you the details of that in a second. The last one is to ensure continued operational excellence, and obviously that is a major core responsibility in pursuit of Adam and his team. And that will not directly involve residents, although all of us communicate to residents all the time and our staff. What we're looking for is between 6 and 8 residents to participate in each of those 3 pillars. And we'd like to make a decision by the end of this week. We already have several of you who have voiced an interest in doing so. However, we still haven't reached that 6 to 8 range yet. So at the end of this meeting, we have signups. Now, first question that comes to bear is what's involved? Not much. One major meeting, probably in the month of April, for an hour to an hour and a half, and then responding back and forth to communication through your Anderson mailbox, on the phone, or whatever. That's all. Because this is very much on the early part of the development of this plan. So don't feel as though this is going to be an excessive burden. So if you're interested, there's a sign-up sheet and some pencils behind each peer. Sign up. By the way, you can sign a neighbor's name if you want. But what we'd like to do is have at least 6, and hopefully there'll be no more than 8. If we have excessive sign-ups, we will have a random lottery. So if you sign up, you'll hear yes or no. But I'd rather have many more signups than we need and then let the random lottery take place. No expertise needed, no passion, no experience, just representing our residents in the planning of the strategic plan. Okay. At the end of the meeting, these sign-up sheets, and Dennis and I will be up there to answer any questions, and most of the answer will be, I don't know. Thank you so much. And I just Oh, there you go. Wrong button. I went backwards instead of forwards. Adam.
Thank you, Bob. Good morning, friends. How is everyone today? Just a few brief announcements. One being first, I'm not going to be here next week. Taking a vacation. I'll see you later. So, but part of the poor planning I had was I didn't determine that my vacation was when we would have typically our next town hall meeting. So it's that, what is it, the fourth Thursday or whatever. So kind of messed that up in my planning. Actually, I didn't plan the vacation. My wife did, because that's the best way to do it. Just go where they tell you to go. You pack your suitcase and you go. So we will pick that back up in April. So we'll pick that up. It'll be April 22nd will be the date. And we'll look forward to spending some time together then. Another announcement, which don't have a lot of details to share quite yet, but we have extended an offer to a CFO candidate who's accepted it. So we're working through that process. We will be giving you additional details as soon as we can. So we'll get a bio out either through Kendall Connect or in your mailbox shortly. So that's exciting news for us. It was a long recruiting process, and we'll share the details when we're able to here. Okay. And the other thing is we will soon are jumping right into the process of looking for facilities director. So these are all key positions for us, and we'll be starting some of those interviews when I return from my little vacation. So we'll look forward to that. They'll be on campus, and we'll be working through that together in April. So those are my announcements today. I'm happy to take any questions. If anyone has anything for me, I can help you with this morning. I thought people would be clapping their hands about that CFO thing, but lucked out. It was a heavy lift, but I will turn it over to Sarah.
Good morning. I will not be on vacation next week, unfortunately, but I'll be here with you all. So I will let Chris and Kevin give sort of the marketing update this morning. What I want to tell you about is Connections Plus is going to do a dementia support group here at Kendall. So this flyer, I think, already went out to you in an email. I will have some at the back of the room after this, and it's also on the bulletin board. So I can give you some details about that. It starts on Thursday, the 26th. It'll be every other Thursday here in Kendall Hall. So please stop by afterwards and I'll answer your questions. Turn it over to Chris.
Good morning, everybody. So since the last time we met in February, Kevin and I have had 10 tours, triads, and meetings with folks from Florida, Ohio, and 3 different couples and individuals from New York, and 5 different individuals and couples from right here in Lexington. Since then, we have added 7 new waitlist members from Athens, Ohio, Abingdon, Virginia, and 5 more from right here in Lexington. So that brings us year to date with 13 new waitlist members, and the waitlist is now up to 246 members. Yeah. 79 of them whom say they are ready to move here at Kendall Lexington now. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Kevin with some more updates for you guys.
Good morning. So we are currently 100% occupied or reserved for occupancy. Been a trend around here. We do have 3 apartments coming open soon that will start showing as they are vacated, but they aren't ours to sell quite yet. Upcoming move-ins, not much changes really, but I'll just repeat them as they draw closer. On April 30th, Ted and Tina Ingalls from Oakton, Virginia, will move into 182 Sycamore Lane. I'm told they're not actually, that's their closing date. They're not actually going to move in until I think about a month after that. On May 7th, Tina Wiley from Southport, North Carolina, will move into apartment 316 North. And on May 28th, Ann and Kent Massey from Lexington will move into apartment 116 South. So as always, thanks to all of you for making our tour guests and our Try It visitors feel welcome. We're right back into the busy season for that. And lastly, Sarah wanted me to let you know that there is a St. Patrick's Day photo from yesterday. It was taken right here in this room, and it's on the table just outside Kendall Hall. So when you leave, if you haven't already seen it on Facebook, when you leave today, be sure to take a look at that picture. And that's it for marketing. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Excited to announce that Jacqueline Poole, our life enrichment coordinator, had a baby girl on March 11th at 4:30 p.m., coming in at 8 pounds, 13 ounces. Wow. So she's on maternity leave, and we have an interim temporary fill-in, Cadence Edmonds, who actually worked with life enrichment prior to even I starting here. So she's making a triumphant return for the fill-in for Jacqueline. Glad to have her on the team. I know I sent out communication regarding the clinic, but it is up and running at the area right before you walk into the 600 hallway in Borden on the left. That is housed by Brooke Campbell, our LPN independent living clinic nurse. And then also Sheridan Fun has moved offices as well. And so she'll share the space. The intention of the clinic is to have rotating partners. So whether it be Aventis Whole Health, home hearing, podiatry, multiple services. So we'll continue to send out information, but you can always just check in with Brooke if you do have questions or request services, because that's our intention, is to have it kind of be a rotating space. Have had a lot of good feedback that it is a little bit more patient friendly, if you will, in that space versus the one that it was located in. I do not have any COVID or flu reports, so at all levels, nobody has reported recent activity there. So please continue to stay healthy. And I did send out
charts and graphs this month, which is good because
Yes,
seems like it's been timed poorly. And I'll juggle my clipboard here and I'll just go down the update with y'all. We had a couple major HVAC leaks. No one probably knows about that, so I probably don't need to tell you all, right? You may remember we had to dig up out here on the south side, get an excavator and all that. We made those repairs, and I'm really proud of the team that did that. That was done in-house, and it probably saved $50,000 or $75,000 with them doing that using the skills of the guys we have versus bringing in emergency contractors to do all that. Those repairs were complete. It has helping on right now. There's several other systems still underway. I'll get to them when I go down my list. Our HVAC tech position is still advertised. We're still searching for that replacement. The new ground supervisor position is now advertised. I'm not sure where we stand on qualified applicants for that one as well. The director of facility services, that guy, that is now advertised. I think it went out on Friday, and if I understand correctly, there's already a handful of looks very promising applicants for that. Roofing phase 4 is scheduled, weather permitting. I don't know what it's going to be, because it could be 20, it could be 80, who knows, on March 30th. Phase 4, they're going to pick up on the west side of Sycamore, where they stopped putting on the new roofs, and go down the west side of Sycamore to the end, down to 182. So that will be the rest of that phase. The VRF system is continues to be looked at. Adam and I met with engineers and architects a couple more times. They've been back. They've given us some menu options that are now going out for pricing workups, so we can bring Felicia to the meetings, and I'll have a great time going down the menu and trying to figure out which of those is the right solution for that. The south boiler replacement is still scheduled for early April, so we're a few weeks out from that. No update or delay on that I'm tracking so far. Sunnyside floors were refinished a few weeks ago. So the bedrooms in Sunnyside, the wood floors in there were finished. Those rooms are now back online and available again. Since last meeting, we had 2 significant sewer backups. They backed up into our mechanical rooms at least, so it wasn't another poopocalypse in someone's apartment, which is good. But the not good part, please don't put grease or mass quantities of food down the drains. These were preventable backups again, and they were just not a great day for the maintenance guys working down there in the mechanical room, as you can imagine. The Columbia Gas Virginia Pipeline project is actually moving a little bit. I had a conference with them a couple weeks ago, and then last week they were here on site making their final measurements to take over and replace some of the natural gas lines that are here. As you may recall, right now in the eyes of the state, we are our own natural gas company. That is not something we want to do due to the regulatory compliance of that. So we're trying to get Columbia Gas to do that. They're measuring and looking at maps and doing things, but they were actually here making some progress on that. So I reported that to the state, to the SEC, and they were happy to hear of the progress. A reminder to everyone, yard debris pickup, leaves, bags of limbs, stuff like that. We do on Fridays. The guys work 7 to 3:30. Please don't put that stuff out at 2 o'clock on a Friday. They're long done by then. They're making those rounds usually on a Friday morning. And that's worked into their rotation only on Friday morning. So if you put that out on a Monday, it will likely sit there because I don't want to pull the guys off whatever other schedule they're doing to go pick up miscellaneous stuff that's been put out. So remember, yard debris, please put out on Friday mornings for us. Our rotational pressure washing is now scheduled. They'll be coming early June. And in the rotation this year is Sycamore. So hopefully the roofers will be done and out of the way. And then we'll bring in the pressure washer guys behind them, and they will do all of Sycamore this year. Lena is still out. So Kim is still acting as the supervisor of the housekeeping department. Please let me or Kim directly know if you have other issues that you would normally take to Lena. Kim's done a great job and has brought some things to me we've been able to solve, and she's just been running around putting fires out, and kudos to her for doing a good job on that. We are getting close to mulch season. We are waiting for the new radiator to go into our tractor, and then we are going to go start picking up the mulch. Kathy will be sending out the mulch emails soon. She'll be working with Kenny on that about updates of who needs what and where. For those of you who opt to do your own in your area around your home there, but you still want some mulch, Kenny has designated 2 spots we're going to put piles, so you don't have to go down to what we call Little West Virginia and get your own mulch. So we'll still have that pile down there if you like mud and snakes, but we'll have one up on Sunrise Ridge and one kind of behind the pool as well. So there'll be 2 closer, easier spots for folks who want to get their own smaller quantities for their own gardening as well. So you'll see those details in the email when that comes out. And last on my list is the preventive maintenance work is moving along. Sunrise Ridge is done. Anthony is working down Sycamore now. I ask that y'all help him with your flexibility of when he can get there to do that work. If every resident says 1:30 in the afternoon is the perfect time and the only time that's convenient for me, we will get 1 done a day, and that's not very good. So please work with him and Kathy when they reach out to you to try to coordinate that. A couple folks have asked when we're doing that, why aren't we insulating the attics in the non-turnover houses? Because as you may remember, when we do a reno and do a turnover, we've been going in for about 2 years now into the attics and adding additional insulation to keep the homes a little more comfortable and more efficient than we were. We looked into that. You might think you want us to come in and insulate your attic while you're there. It is filthy. That is why we're not doing that. The dust and the debris that comes through every fan, every seal, everything is really, really bad. Even the ones up on Sunrise Ridge where we went in through the garage is the only access there, still had significant impact to that. So we're very hesitant to go into the existing ones while they're occupied, because Kim and the housekeepers will set my truck on fire if I do that properly. All right, that is my list. What do you have for me, please? Saved all the hard ones for, okay. I got one. Outside window washing, I've reached out to the guy 2 or 3 times now, and he's like, yes, we're ready, we're going to do it. But then he doesn't answer me, and then I call him back and I don't get a hold of him. So we have been playing phone tag a few times on that. That is funded, that is planned. It is not coordinated yet for this year. I'm a little hesitant now to do it in the spring because we're awfully close to the mowing season, and I don't want to wash the windows and then throw leaf stuff on them, grass thatch on them right away. We might wait till the fall, but I'm still trying to coordinate that with the gentleman. It will happen 2026. We will have the full window washing squeegee guy come. Anything else for me? All right, Jen was on the hot seat today, not me. This is good. All right, I think Paul is next. Hard questions for Paul if you have any.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, tonight we're going for dinner at Napa Thai, and actually we have 4 slots open. So if you don't like the menu at the dining room, sign up to go to Napa Thai tonight. I don't know what they're serving at the dining room, hot dogs, hamburger, whatever. But anyway, Napa Thai is an excellent restaurant. If you haven't tried that, there's 4 slots open for the bus tonight. And then on Friday, Lenfest, the Winter Choral Concert, there's still some openings there as well. As well as on Sunday, we're going to Wayne's Theater for Guys and Dolls, the play. It's called Guys and Dolls Junior. I guess the juniors added on so that they don't impinge upon the actual play itself. But it's not going to be a bunch of kids doing it, not at the Wayne Theater. So if you're interested in that, that's on a Sunday afternoon. And then next Wednesday, we have a lecture here by Robin Potter. She's going to talk about her adventures in the Amazon jungle. I think she fell off the boat, and then she had to deal with the crocodiles and snakes and all that. And she's going to talk about how she survived the Amazon. And then, of course, on the 28th, we're going to the Beach Boys concert in Clifton Forge. Unfortunately, the bus is full, and everyone is paid except one individual who I'll see later that hasn't paid for their ticket yet. But that's always obviously it's not the original Beach Boys, but it's everybody. It's the substitute Beach Boys, so that should be a good concert there. In April, we have a pretty busy schedule in April, and the schedule is posted on the bulletin board. There's a lot of concerts at Washington University, and they happen to be all free. So if you're interested in going to bluegrass or jazz or the wind ensemble, just sign up on the bulletin board. The big thing in April, on April 21st, we have what I call the Antique Road Show. We have an appraiser is coming down from Harrisonburg, and he's going to give a short talk about his company and the appraisal system. And then we're going to have post a sign up sheet for people to bring their heirloom that Aunt Matilda gave them 100 years ago. It came off the Mayflower, I guess, or something, and he will give you an oral appraisal of what he thinks that particular item is worth. And so it'll be a 15-minute increments, and as soon as I have room on my bulletin board, I'll post the sign-up sheet. So if you like one of your items to be appraised, we're limited to 1 item per person, and we're going to charge you $10 to get your oral appraisal. The $10 is going to go into the Staff Appreciation Fund. So I figure that's one way of funding the Staff Appreciation Fund. If you can carry it in here, we ask you to carry it in or bring it in a wagon. If it's a bedroom suite you want him to appraise, take a picture of it and bring the photo to him, and he'll hopefully give you an oral appraisal of what that particular item is worth, and that'll be on the 21st. He'll be here at 10 o'clock and starting at 10:30 until I think lunch. He'll be off an hour for lunch, and then be back until 4 o'clock. So we can't accommodate everybody, but as soon as the sign-up sheet is posted, please sign up for it. And if there's an overwhelming response, I'll have them come back at a later date for anybody else who wants to have a particular item appraised. So, and then at the end of the month, we're going to go see the John Denver concert over also at the Masonic Theater. and John Denver. It's his tribute, so I expect that to have a full bus as well. So be aware when I put up the sign-up sheet for that. And then at the end of the month, Sue Pipo is going to give a lecture on her New Zealand adventures. And we're always happy to have residents talk about their travels, their adventures, whatever they are. And all you have to do is let me know, and I'll put you on one of the schedules here. So it's a busy schedule for the rest of the month and for April. And please look at the bulletin board. And all these items for April will be in the Connections newsletter. And hopefully most of it will stay on Kendall Connect as well, which is different from the Connections. But anyway, I try to keep it all updated for you. But the latest information is on the bulletin board. When you come by here to eat lunch or dinner, just stop by the C&E bulletin board for the latest information in the sign-up sheets. Thank you very much. I'll be followed by the distinguished guest here. Hardin Marion will come here and follow me.
I'll follow you only when I know when you stop. Good morning, everyone. I have very little to say this morning, but I did. We do have programs we're continuing to roll out, and when I finish, I'm going to ask Catherine Brown, who organized the program in July, to come up and tell you about it. I think Jen Hickey said that there was a Kendall College on April 1st. If she did, I wasn't hearing all that came out of her microphone very well, but that would be incorrect. April 1st is April Fool's Day. We have no Kendall College that day. But before I ask Catherine to come up, I wanted to say how much we appreciate the fact that Sally Nunnally asked the question she did about paying an annual fee instead of monthly fees for Kendall College programs. We were happy to accommodate her question with a positive answer. And the biggest, Sally was speaking for all residents who have to write many checks if they do it one at a time. And I understand that, but the biggest winner of that is Linda Dwyer, who processes the money that comes in from whoever is paying a fee for a particular program. And she's not here. She's on her way back from wherever she went. But she really appreciates the fact that so many people, and I will tell you so far, 57 people have signed up to pay an annual $60 fee for the programs. And we appreciate that. We appreciate Sally's bringing it to our attention and yours. Now, our program for April, Catherine, you can come up here and tell folks about what we're doing after April Fool's Day.
Okay, if you all are as bewildered and confused about the world of Islam and the Muslims as I am, you will all want to sign up for the program that Kendall College is presenting in April on the 8th, 15th, and 22nd. So go mark your calendars. The program is called The Origins of Islam, and its presenter is a young professor at Southern Virginia University, Drew Sorber. Drew has a whole lot of degrees, including a master's of philosophy from Cambridge University in England, a master's and a PhD in history from the University of Virginia. And his specialty is the entire medieval world in the years sort of between the fall of Rome and the beginnings of the Renaissance. So that includes all of the period in which Islam appeared and became one of the three great Abrahamic religions. So he'll give some background on that in his first lecture to set the stage for why Muhammad appeared and would be so popular. His second lecture is going to talk about how his followers figured out what to do after he died. So you get the real beginnings of a formal religion, and he will take us through that and explain some of the divisions within Islam that continue to the present. I think we all have trouble confusing or sorting out the Sunnis and the Shiites, and I think he'll help us with that. And then the final lecture is going to cover the period after the year 750, when they really got their act together, discovered and put together the Abbasid Caliphate, and took off as one of the leading civilizations. They probably were the most advanced in science, in mathematics, in medicine, in art, in the entire world. And I think he will be able also to help answer a lot of questions you might have about practices in the whole world of Islam. So I think you'll find that enjoyable, and I hope you'll all sign up and come. Thank you. Who's next? Victoria. Yes.
Good morning. Okay, so in our efforts to bring you something different down in the fitness center, we've got a couple of new offerings. Unfortunately, they're starting on the same day, but lots of choices is good. We want choices. So this one is not on your calendar, but we are offering a 4-week special series of Qigong. So I've often had, I know some of the space are like, what's Qigong? A lot of folks have asked me about Tai Chi. This is a very similar practice. This is an ancient Chinese practice. I think they've been doing this 4,000 years or something like that. So it goes way back. It's intentional movement, and it helps you, or it could improve balance, pain management, mental clarity. It's a mind-body activity. It's meant to be standing. So I will preface the class that you might want to consider that. It'll be a standing class, 30 minutes long, 4 weeks. You don't have to have this memorized. I've got posters. It'll be on Kendall Connect. I've got an email that I'll send to you all. If you have questions about whether it's an appropriate class for you, just reach out to me. But I hope you'll give it a chance. Donna is fantastic. I've known her for years. Yoga, Qigong. She's also a classically trained pianist. She teaches piano. She has a beautiful style, just a lovely woman. So I hope you might consider trying that class. If mind-body activity is not for you, Victoria has got something new for you as well. So I will hand it over to her.
Hello. All right, so you might have seen on the calendar, we're going to be having a weight training class. So this class is going to meet in the exercise equipment room, not in the group exercise room. Sorry, I have all my notes here. So programming for this class, we're going to be using the strength machines, free weights, kettlebells. We're going to include balance exercises, core exercises. This class is going to be an opportunity for people who are currently not using the machines and want some additional instruction. It's also an opportunity for people who have been doing the machines and been doing them the same way for years, and they're bored with them. They're not getting stronger. This is going to give you some additional help with that. The class is going to be planned around progressive overload. So we're going to be working towards either increasing the resistance or increasing the repetitions on the exercises. So I will plan out a 6-week period where we're going to be doing the same exercises during that time and improving on those exercises. When we do the same exercises for a long period of time and we don't increase our resistance or our repetitions, we plateau, we don't get stronger. Okay, so that's what this class is going to be really focusing on. I'm hoping that we're going to have enough interest that I can add lots of these on the calendar as a group program. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out to me. You can email, you can stop by to see if you think it might be an appropriate class for you or not. Okay, so that's it on the class. A couple other updates. Okay, so we've had notes on and off one of the treadmills. Okay, the treadmill's not working, then it's miraculously working. Right before the company comes to check it, it's working again. Then the company leaves and it's not working again. So the problem with this machine, so first off, I think that there's a problem with the buttons that increase the resistance. What we have found is if you are able to use the keypad to increase the resistance, it will work. However, if you are not used to using that, you could hurt yourself. It is a good idea to meet with me so I can show you how to do that, or use the other treadmill that's working properly. If I could easily fix this, I would. This treadmill, I'm sure there's someone in this room that knows how old this treadmill is. I think it's original to the fitness center and they do not make parts for it anymore. So the fix for the machine is a new machine, which of course is not in our budget. So just be patient with me as we figure out how to best use that until we can get that in the budget. The other thing that has come up, our leg extension machine. I thought this was a battery issue. I've replaced the batteries. It's not. I'm going to have to buy a whole new panel for the back of it. We've had to do this a couple of times. So that's why that has not come back on. The screen has not come back on. You can use the machine. You just cannot see a readout of what resistance you're at. And then finally, there's been some questions about maintenance request for the fitness center. So if it is an issue with a machine, a fitness machine, the treadmill, the strength machines, come to me. Sometimes it's something I can easily fix, or I schedule it with an outside company. If it is something with the building, if it's a tile, if it's the carpet, if it's, the water fountain's broken, you can leave those notes for me too, but I will then have to find your note and then tell Kathy. If you need it to happen quicker than that, I would suggest that those things go directly to Kathy. But if it's a fitness machine, that's me. Okay. And then if it's TVs, also, I can't really fix a TV. I can contact IT for you. But that's about as far as I can go with that. Okay. And then we've got one more thing, everyone's favorite time of year is fitness testing. Yay. I'm gonna let you say a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yes, that is coming up. We're looking at scheduling that for April. That's correct. We're working that calendar right now. So just a reminder, and if you're brand new to Kendall, we can go into more detail with you on the side if you'd like, but we're going to test your lower body strength, upper body strength, flexibility, endurance, agility. And we also offer Berg balance testing. So just a great way if you're brand new to get a baseline of where you are with strength and those other components of your fitness. If you've been with us quite a while, it's so fun. We love seeing you come back every year and compare. And most times we're so thrilled with the results. If you've been working out or doing it does not have to be with us. If you've ever been walking, whatever you've been doing, we see improvements most of the time. And on the off chance that we see a decline, then we can talk about how we might fix that, get you back to at least baseline, maybe even more beyond. So if you have any questions, I know it's getting really late. So maybe just come see us in the fitness center. We'd love to just chat with you. Okay. Thanks so much.
Okay. Okay, I'm back talking about a different topic. I'm the resident council person who sort of is the rep to Borden and Webster. So I go to their RA meetings every month. And I most recently went to the one in Borden and was really impressed with a good attendance they had and with the exciting programming that's going on over there. Cadence has really jumped into her job full strength. And we've got an alliterative program I want you to know about: puppies, pen pals, and pop-up artists. These are all coming up. They're doing a puppy parade on Friday. Those of you who've got pets, you've done these before, probably do it again. They just love to see your pets. The Pen Pal Corral, I think a lot of you have heard about and taken some action on. This is their way of getting a correspondence going between Borden residents and independent living residents. A lot of you have already picked up the envelopes out there on the table. I think I saw 4 remaining. So 4 more of you could become a pen pal and brighten somebody's day over in Borden. So I urge you to do that, please. The pop-up artists, this is an opportunity for artists among our independent living bunch and also artists in Lexington area to come out and demonstrate their particular kind of art. And their starting session is going to feature 2 woodworking artists from among us, and that's going to be Chip Hunsinger and Jack Page. So if you're an artist, they'd be very happy to add you to the program schedule over there for an appearance and demonstration. They are also doing a speakeasy on the 30th of March. And I think this might be a fun event for all of us to have a little something to do with. So keep that in mind and you'll hear more about it. The other thing and last thing I want to take up is a plea for some volunteers. They could use more of you to help out with things like driving, that is pushing wheelchairs to events over here in Kendall Hall or elsewhere around. So if you have some extra time, you would be very welcome over at Borden to sign up to do that. Okay, thank you all. Who's next?
Bob likes to end a meeting on time, and so I promise to talk very quickly. As you may know, our residents council is composed of 7 different Kendall residents. Our focus is on listening to all of you, answering any questions you may have, and trying to develop and assist in implementing action plans designed to benefit all of you and our staff. We've had 3 meetings already this year, and our main goal was to develop an key objective for 2026. And that objective is to encourage resident engagement in maintaining the culture and range of positive options we have for all of us and our staff. We don't want to pressure anyone, but simply to describe the pleasure of participating in committees or interest groups. We all have different desires, capabilities, and experiences. To our credit, we have a very high level of resident engagement here at Kendall. 100 residents actively participate in any one of our committees. We also have high levels of participation in interest groups, ad hoc committees, attending entertainments, socializing and participating in the local Lexington and Rockbridge County activities. Now, as a special, this today, but I'm going to extend it until Friday. We have a sign-on bonus for anybody who signs up for a committee. And that bonus will be counted in the toward the 10% raise we get each year. And after 2 years of service, you become eligible for name, image, and likeness. So we have a very active board of directors, very involved staff, and an active community of residents. The key objective for us this year is to encourage more of you to participate in our committees. You can find information about which committees and interest groups there are in the Red Book. There's information around the bulletin boards, and we just want to encourage everyone so that we can reach our objective of increasing engagement of the residents. Thank you. Any questions? Good.
Okay, I apologize. I got a trigger handy. A little bit fast with the trigger. Just a couple closing comments. First of all, thank you, staff and residents, for all your engagement in this meeting and beyond this meeting for sure. We recently had a group of us get together and talk about the aging process and recognize that we tend to lose some capabilities as we age, and we actually identified 6 of them. And first of all, our eyesight fades, our hearing fades, our sleeping capability fades. Number 4, our memory fades. And number 5, I forgot. However, I remember the sign-up sheets over here. We're really looking for some more residents to get involved in the strategic planning process. So please, on your way out, all exits, go by these sign-up sheets. Thank you so much, and see you next month, if not before.